not always romantic though. Okay, If You Were Ready was the song that you put up on YouTube, and I actually just found out about it too because when I sent out, Brian McKnight, they said, "Oh, can you ask him about because somebody wants to actually get a copy of the song."
Well, it's on YouTube. It's on iTunes if you want it.
What was the idea behind that? Because that was so almost 180-degree turn from what they know you for.
I think what most people don't understand, if you haven't seen me perform in the last 10 years, then you think I'm this guy that just sits around and is so serious about
mellow
love.
and right.
I'm really not that. I'm a zany sort of a kook. I have lots of humor in my show. I've done lots of things between my Twitter and Vine and all these different things. And at the time, everybody who was following me on Twitter, they've known me.
They got it.
They got it.
Yes.
They understood that this was not real.
Right.
This was something that I did because if I was listening, I actually took a listen to some of the music that they were playing in the club one night at an after party, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to do an adult mixtape." And most people don't know what adult means, I guess.
Okay.
So when I had to give them an example of what I was talking about, and I realized two things: that one, people don't really listen to lyrics, and number two, they don't like it when you point out how stupid they are. So they may know they are,
actually,
but they don't like when you remind them.
Exactly. They don't want it coming from other people.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, as a musician, and I hear this a lot too, you got to reinvent yourself. You can't just be vanilla all the time,
that's
right?
true, but I was making a point that the point was made. And the same day I released a song called Live Without You on my YouTube page, the same day that it got 15,000 views. And if you're ready to learn, maybe the #1 trending topic in the world for 2 days straight. So that tells you that my point was made right there.
Right. Okay, so releasing, you just released an album.
Right.
Tell us about More Than Words.
More Than Words, again, it was where I was in March when it released. It sort of chronicled my life over the time between the record before that, which was just me and More Than Words. And there were some revelations that I made about myself. There were revelations that I wanted to sort of keep tongue in cheek. If you really listen to the words I write, you will completely understand me. But most people can't read between the lines, which is fine with me.
And some people too, I think when they listen to a song, they think about how the lyrics apply to their lives, in their lives. And that's where judgment comes in.
Right.
Because they don't know, they're not coming from the point of view of who wrote it and why he wrote it and why he sang it. So reinvention, how important is it for somebody like you?
I'm not sure if reinvention it's a very broad word. Because in one sense you could completely become something different, which I could not do.
Right.
What I've done is I started out one way, and I sort of held back some of the things that I was. And over the years, I've let you in a little bit more, and let you in a little bit more, a little bit more. I wanted people to take me seriously for being a musician and a writer.
Right.
I think I did that over the first 4 or 5 records. But if I had been Zany and Cooky at the same time, I think there may have been, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should have done that then, but then I would have had nowhere to go.
Right,
you see?
Right.
So it wasn't necessarily a conscious decision, but I wanted to be Miles Davis. I thought, it's my music and that's it. Forget about everything else.
I love Miles Davis.
But that was fine in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
In the 90s, and as social media became prevalent, people want to know everything.
And I think they were also connecting it to the fact that you're a Seventh-day Adventist.
Really?
And religion and all, because you know how people are so...
You know what? I'm not sure if it's that. I just think that at the time, no one could get away with doing anything questionable on the radio or on television in the 90s.
Yeah.
You had to be clean. Things that people get away with now, there's no way someone could have done a sex tape in the 90s and then become hugely famous and successful because of it. It probably would have.
Isn't there almost like I Want to Sex You Up by All For One?
It's one of those.
One of them, yes.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, but still, it wasn't.
Calling Me Bad.
It's Calling Me Bad, right?
Yeah.
They were still talking about it.
Right.
They weren't actually doing it in the video.
Right. Okay.
You see where I'm going with that? So
so
it just tells you how far we've come from that.
Okay.
Now it may be better.
Right.
It may be better that now you can do just about anything and have it be okay.
Right.
But I think the record sales will tell you different. I think that television ad revenue would tell you different. I think that
social media too would tell you different sometimes. It's different what's on TV.
I'm not sure. Listen, I think it's the greatest and worst thing that's ever happened. You know, it's great that you can talk to your fans right now. You can have them know everything about you, but there's no mystery. And now everybody that has a Twitter page or a Facebook page is famous.
Yeah.
So it kind of takes away from, some of the other things. That's fine. I mean, this is the age we live in, so you have to adapt and overcome. But
Right.
bring me back to the 90s. I'll be